Yeah, it's that, stepping up to the game, living life prepared, I'm not here for the fame. With a plan in my hand, gotta make it alright. Through the storms and the struggles, I'm ready to fight. Prepare for the worst while I aim for the best. That's unique prepping, we're reaching new heights. Living strong and ready, we're chasing the lights. With courage as armor, we'll conquer the day. Together we rise, we'll fight our own way. Stacking knowledge and skills, I'm building my base. In this world of chaos, I'm finding my space. No fear in the hustle, I'm sharpening my tools. When the world brings the waves, I'm breaking the rules. Stand tall, keep grinding, never lose sight. Yeah, that's unique prepping, we're reaching new heights. Living strong and ready, we're chasing the lights. With courage as armor, we'll conquer the day. Together we rise, we'll find our own way. We'll find our own way. Stand tall, keep grinding, never lose sight. Stacking knowledge and skills, I'm building my base. In this world of chaos, I'm finding my space. No fear in the hustle, I'm sharpening my tools. When the world brings the waves, I'm breaking the rules. Stand tall, keep grinding, never lose sight. Never lose sight. Yeah, stand tall, keep grinding, never lose sight. With brick every chain, with Zach in the lead, we'll never feel pain. Never feel pain. Never feel pain. With Zach in the lead, we'll never feel pain. Never feel pain. Never feel pain. With Zach in the lead, we'll never feel pain. With Zach in the lead, we'll never feel pain. With Zach in the lead, we'll never feel pain. We'll never feel pain. We'll never feel pain. We'll never feel pain. Out on the road, or safe at home. Life can turn on the dime when you're on your own. But there's a light, guiding hands acts here to show you how to make a stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unique Prepping, where innovation meets preparation, and everyone's unique abilities come together to build a stronger, united community. Unique Prepping exists to empower individuals to embrace their unique strengths and abilities while preparing for the challenges of tomorrow. Our channel is about more than just survival, it's about thriving in every aspect of life. We focus on practical prepping, from mastering gardening and sustainable living to honing essential survival skills, fostering a spirit of self-reliance, and building meaningful connections with like-minded individuals who share the same goals. Why unique? Because we believe that everyone, regardless of their circumstances or abilities, has something valuable to contribute to the prepping community. We are here to break down barriers, challenge limitations, and show that preparation is for everyone. This is a space where creativity meets practicality, and where we celebrate the diverse talents and perspectives that make us stronger together. It's not about fitting into a mold. It's about embracing what makes each of us special and leveraging those strengths to overcome challenges. Here, we don't just prepare for the future, we embrace it with open arms and open minds, crafting a lifestyle that values self-reliance, resilience, and the spirit of unity. Whether it's growing our own food, building essential skills, or navigating life's challenges with unique abilities, we're here to show that nothing can hold us back. Our goal is to equip you with the tools, strategies, and confidence needed to tackle life's uncertainties head-on and emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever. In this journey, we strive to empower you with knowledge, inspire you with ideas, and unite us all through a shared mission, to be ready, to be resourceful, and to be resilient. Together, we can face any storm, rise above any obstacle, and shine light on the path forward. Through collaboration and determination, we can create a community where everyone feels valued and supported, where no challenge is too great, and where the bonds we build stand the test of time. So, let's gear up, get creative, and continue this incredible journey of prepping, learning, and growing as a community. This is Unique Prepping, where every step we take is a step towards a brighter and more secure tomorrow. It's more than just a channel, it's a movement, a way of life, and a promise to face the future together. Are you ready? Let's dive in and get started. At Unique Prepping, we're all about building stronger communities and preparing for the unexpected. Now, we're taking our mission even further by partnering with Stolen Spirits, a powerful initiative focused on raising awareness for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Together, we're blending preparedness with advocacy, shining a light on the issues that matter most. Join us as we unite for a cause, inspire change, and build a future where every voice is heard and every life is valued. Unique Prepping and Stolen Spirits, stronger together.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Good evening, our prepping community, and welcome to the 27th installment of Unique Prepping's community. On tonight's episode, we are going to discuss dealing with unique abilities without having the lens on. I'm your producer, host, and community member Unique Prepping, and with me are my kind close people and our community members Tug from the Unapologetic Geek, and Brady from Stolen Spirits MMIWG. In the description down below, I put their links. Please go subscribe and keep this community growing. Before we begin, how are you this evening?
I'm
Yes.
doing pretty good. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm looking at the screens.
I'm a little spaced out because I just took a nap to be ready for this. So sorry about that. But no, I'm doing good. I had a really good day. I got a lot of stuff done today, which was really yeah.
I was just gonna say I would turn on my camera with you guys, but I just woke up, so I'm not.
So you understand. You get.
So that's why I laughed when you said that, because yeah, I totally get you. Hey everybody in chat.
I saw Shane in the chat. Hi Shane.
Sarah, Nicole, Michigan.
That's good, and I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me on a topic that not too many people wants to discuss. It's one that's sure to inspire, educate, and spark important conversations. If you're ready to break through stereotypes and gain real insight into the experiences of people living with unique abilities, this is the episode for you. For this special installment, we're doing something a little different. We've brought together a diverse panel of voices. Some of us live with unique abilities every day, while others are family members or caregivers who provide unwavering support. Together, we'll share our stories, challenges, triumphs, and the lessons we've learned along the way. It's a rare opportunity to hear from different perspectives and gain a deeper understanding of how unique abilities shape lives, families, and communities. The phrase "without the lens" is so important in this conversation because it challenges the way society often views those of us with unique abilities. Too often, the focus is on limitations rather than potential, on what people think we can't do rather than what we can. In this episode, we aim to remove that lens and replace it with raw, unfiltered truth. Whether you're living with unique abilities yourself or simply want to learn how to better support those who are, you'll find a lot of value in today's discussion. If you've been following Unique Prepping's community, you know that our goal is to bring people together and foster understanding, no matter where we're starting from. Prepping is more than just physical preparedness, it's mental, emotional, and social as well. Understanding and embracing the experiences of those with unique abilities is an essential part of building a strong, united prepping community. We can't truly thrive unless we include everyone's voice in the conversation. Before we dive into today's panel discussion, I want to remind you to please like, subscribe, share, and comment on this video. Your engagement not only helps our channel grow but also ensures that these important conversations reach more people who need to hear them. If this episode resonates with you, let us know in the comments and share your own thoughts or experiences. Together, we can create a space where everyone feels seen and heard. Also, don't forget to check out our LinkTree to find all things unique prepping. Whether it's donation links or ways to connect with us on social media, you'll find everything you need there. Supporting our channel helps us continue to create meaningful content and bring together a community that's built on understanding, resilience, and hope. So, without further ado, let's jump into today's episode. I'm so grateful for the panelists who've joined me today to share their voices and experiences. This is going to be an insightful and uplifting conversation that I believe will stick with you long after it's over. Let's get started and take a real, honest look at life with unique abilities, without the lens. Do you have anything to add before we start?
No, I don't think so.
Right?
Let's get to it.
Question number 1. What are the biggest misconceptions people have about unique abilities, and how do you think we can address them as a community?
Well, I think one of the biggest misconceptions I've heard, a lot of people think, oh, this might be contagious. Not contagious, people. That really bothers me. And I think that's one of my top ones right there. Or if they would just ask questions, people would ask questions instead of just looking at somebody and guessing or not,
Yeah, I think it all comes down to people just making assumptions. Like,
yeah,
people with unique abilities aren't like a monolithic group. They don't all feel the same. They don't all think the same. They don't all want the same things. They don't all need the same things. Yeah, it's a lot like what Shane is saying here. Yeah, you don't really look at it as a bigger picture. And I think you're right. We need to listen. We need to ask questions. We need to not make assumptions. Like, once you do that, it's over. Like, you can't look at somebody, see them for their abilities, and not like them as a person. Like, that's the problem.
yeah,
And
just putting them in a box and not finding out who they are and what they can do and what they want and like, and everybody's different. But yeah, it's like people look at people and just judge right away instead of asking questions and giving them a chance, opening up. And you learn a lot from somebody. We're all different for a reason, and you learn a lot from people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, everybody in chat.
People often assume that individuals with unique abilities are incapable of living independent and fulfilling lives. This misconception stems from a lack of understanding and exposure. Many people equate unique abilities with limitations rather than potential, which leads to underestimating what someone can achieve and given the right tools and support. This mindset not only undermines the individual but also creates barriers to opportunities. Another common misconception is that people with unique abilities need constant help or cannot contribute meaningfully to society. This belief overlooks the incredible resilience and adaptability that many individuals develop. People with unique abilities are problem solvers by necessity, often finding innovative ways to navigate challenges. Their contributions, when recognized, can be as impactful as anyone else's.
That's 100% the truth.
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
Some
telling
believe
you
that
right
unique
now.
abilities
Oh.
define the entirety of a person's identity. This perspective diminishes the complexity and individuality of a person's life. Unique abilities are just one aspect of who someone is, not their whole story. People with unique abilities have diverse interests, goals, and talents that should be celebrated and valued. There's a misconception that families of people with unique abilities bear an unbearable burden. While there are challenges, many families also speak of the profound joy and perspective gained from their relationships. Viewing these families only through a lens of struggle dismisses the love, growth, and pride they often feel. It reduces their experiences to one-dimensional narratives of hardship. The media often perpetuates stereotypes by either portraying people with unique abilities as tragic figures or as extraordinary heroes. This all-or-nothing portrayal leaves no room for the reality of everyday lives. People with unique abilities live ordinary lives, face ordinary challenges, and deserve to be seen as ordinary people with unique circumstances, rather than being placed on a pedestal or pitted. Misconceptions are sometimes reinforced by well-meaning but misguided attempts to offer help. Assuming someone can't do something without asking them first can be disempowering. Many people with unique abilities value their independence and prefer to find solutions themselves. Respecting this autonomy is key to addressing these assumptions. A lack of accessible infrastructure and resources is often justified by the false belief that accommodations are not widely needed. This misconception ignores how many people could benefit from better accessibility, not just those with unique abilities. Accessibility improves lives for everyone, making it a community-wide issue rather than an isolated one. Education and awareness are essential to addressing these misconceptions. Conversations like this one help to break down stereotypes and build understanding. Sharing personal stories and experiences can shift perceptions, creating a culture of inclusion and respect. Building a community that values all perspectives is the best way to dismantle these harmful misconceptions. UP out.
Have a good night, everybody. He clearly said it all.
Yeah, Zach, it's hard to add to that.
Exactly, though. Yeah, it's yeah, he said it all.
I think for me, like, I have a son who's on the spectrum. It's one of the, like, I've had a lot of experience with people with unique abilities my entire life, ever since I was a kid, and I come across people who, it's not necessarily that they look at other people as having like a disease that's contagious. I mean, that does kind of happen, but it's more of just like a, I don't want to say the word disgust because it's a little strong, but like they kind of shy away from it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to look at it. Right. And I've never quite understood that personally, just because I've been around it my whole life. And where am I going with this? I'm not really sure. I think it's really important to treat people as people, not as what they are. Like, you don't look at a person who's on the spectrum, who's autistic, obviously autistic. You don't look at them as being an autistic person. You should see it as a person first, you know?
Right. Right. Hey, sick.
Yeah. What's up, Shane?
Oh, sorry. Hello there. Wow, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is thinking that somebody that doesn't look like, act like, function like you, oh, what good can they be?
Right.
And one of my best friends, wow, years, I've known him since high school. He has cerebral palsy. I mean, his spine is crooked as a wet noodle, but he is one of the smartest guys you'll ever meet. He's taught me so much about computers, chess. We play chess every time we get together, and he's a boss at chess. It's good. I've probably beat him twice, and he's beaten me about 730 times. And I'm a good chess player. But I think it really boils down to that comment that I just left. Is like, well, the certain person is going to look at this person and be like, oh, you're unique in that sense. What can you do for me? And it's like, you shouldn't be looked at like that. It's like, what can we come together and achieve? as a community, I think just the awareness, generic statement, the awareness just needs to be spread. And it's like you're going to meet people that you may find not quite at your level, but next thing you know, you find out they're above you. They can do stuff you can't do.
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah, like Zach here. Like
Yeah.
I'm a writer,
yeah.
and every time Zach gives one of those long answers, I feel inadequate as a writer. Like he's really good with words.
That's my thing. I don't have a problem getting on panels and talking and whatever, and I come to Zach's. He leaves me speechless. I'm just like, yeah. He's like really smart. I don't know what I'd do without him. Like he helps me a lot. See him making me time. He helps me a lot. Like with one thing he does that I could kick his butt. He's always correcting my spelling, but he does like help me with the page and helps it keep running and stuff. He's like genius, and I agree with that. I also have had a lot of people with unique abilities in my family, and um, I have like grandkids, and my grandkids, like they grew up, they see somebody and they see the person. They don't see the disability or unique ability. They see the person, and I love that about them. And that's what more people need to teach their kids, though. Like you see somebody and talk to them, like don't, you know. But I have seen it the opposite way too, where parents will pull their kids away. I have a 3-year-old autistic son, and that's already happened to him, and it's really sad because the parents just, But I totally agree. They're some of the smartest people I know. My son is 3, and we try and get him to watch, normal cartoons. And no, he's wants to watch how all the Alexas and the robots and how they work and how to take a light socket apart and how to put it back together. And so, yeah.
My autistic son, he's already 16 now. He was nonverbal for the first several years. Like he didn't really start talking until he was about 4 or 5. But now he's like building robots in robotics club, and he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff that is way above my
Yeah.
brain level. When it comes to things like math and science, he is a genius. I don't like that like Rain Man stereotype of autistic
Right.
people. But there is a little bit of truth to that. It's hard to explain. Like
there really is, though.
Every autistic person is different, and I don't want to make any broad generalizations,
Right.
especially since autism is like 5 or 6 different things. But I've always found that people with autism and people with any kind
Zach
of
with my son right there.
yeah, and
Calls
that
him
was your
Uncle
son.
Zach. Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
calls him Uncle Zach. That's his Uncle Zach.
Cool. But no, like with autism specifically, but with any unique ability, it's not the autism that defines them. It's not
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just a part of their personality.
Mhm.
Their personality just deviates. They're not, I like that term neurotypical. They're not neurotypical, and that's fine. I mean, everybody has their own thing going on. There's no such thing as a normal person. And I'm
Nope.
getting ahead of myself with some of these questions.
I'm far from that.
Yeah. So, I mean, to try to pretend that somebody with a unique ability is different than us just because of that, they're more visible, alterations from the norm is wrong. We're all just as different as each other.
Right. But I do think that sometimes when people have, like I was blind for like 6 months, and I have a sister that's blind. And when people have like a disability or something, they work harder on different parts. Like it's not that they work, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're blessed in other ways than, you use your other, what am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. It's like, I don't want to use the word struggle because it's not really a struggle that defines you, but like people who have to overcome challenges to be independent, challenges that normal people like us don't really have. they actually learn a different way of doing things,
Right.
and sometimes a better way of doing things. And so they'll overcompensate and become better than you could ever be at something else. Like it's like that neuroplasticity thing where a blind person can hear really well, but like on a more general scale, you know. Like my autistic son's terrible with social interaction, but he could run rings around a calculator with his math. Like
Right.
incredible to see. Or like there was a story, I already told this on BBB's stream, but I'll tell it again. When I was in high school, I was kind of full of myself. I was an idiot, right? And I didn't care about graduating. And so when I went to my graduation, my high school graduation, I didn't care. I just wanted to get my piece of paper and drive off. I didn't give a crap. And the person they put next to me, just because of the alphabetical order, was a kid with Down syndrome. And this was like the greatest day of his life. And he was so happy and so thrilled. And he was like so happy he was crying. And here I am just being a moody, sullen teenager. And here's this guy having the greatest day of his life. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like this is my problem, not his problem. I should be happy. I should be just as thrilled about this as he is. We should learn to have joy in the things that we accomplish and the things that we have. And I think a lot of us take that for granted.
Oh, absolutely.
I had something there. I forgot.
Question number 2. How has living
No, I forgot it. Well,
with or supporting someone with unique abilities shaped your approach to daily life and long-term preparedness?
Well, I think it's a lot of the same thing. It's about perspective and recognizing that I have to take into account things that I wouldn't personally ever take into account. You have to see things from another point of view. A really simple example that isn't even really related to unique abilities. My son also has a peanut allergy, so that's not something I've ever had to worry about before. In my entire life, I've never had to worry about peanut allergies, but now as a parent, I have to worry about peanut allergies. And so like if I'm long-term prepping, if I'm like meal prepping even, like I have to be very careful to avoid peanuts. And that's actually trickier than most people think it is, because there's peanuts in a lot of things you don't think there are peanuts in, stuff like that. And as somebody who personally, I don't have any allergies, it's not something I've ever thought about or had to consider before. But now as a parent, I do. And I think that's a very simple example, but that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, is that you have to learn how to recognize the needs of other people. And I think in terms of long-term prep, I mean, you can't just prep for yourself. And yeah, patience. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would say I'm learning with my son, actually. I'm old, but I have, like I said, he just turned 3, and he was born with some issues. I adopted him, and he also, I hate to say this, but was also drug addicted when he was born. So that affects different parts of his brain also still to this day with the SPD and autism and ADHD. And I'm learning with him, and I've learned a lot of patience, a lot of patience. And I, just like Tug just said, I'm learning to like I guess you would do it with any child, any person, anything. We all have different needs and different, ways we do things. But, I'm learning with him. There is things that, like my house, I have to keep it a little bit darker. I'm okay with that because I have sensitive eyes as well. But, people might come into my house and say you bats, but we, there, and it's okay. We're adjusting. We work with it, and he's still I, they still say he's like nonverbal. He has actually a really huge vocabulary, but when it comes to putting, like, say in a sentence, it just jumbles and he can't get any words out.
Right.
But he's learning, and we're working with that. And just like things with our house, like there's certain things he's very sensitive to touch. He's with his SPD. There's a lot of things that bother him, or if the TV's too loud or if it's too bright, he gets anxiety and will start the rocking and stuff. And we've just learned to work with that. Like I said, he's only 3, so I'm sure we still got a lot to learn. But you just have to work with it. You just have to work with it.
Yeah. Sensory issues are very tricky. The one thing that my son's sensory issues taught me is to hate those automatic hand dryers in bathrooms and like public
Oh,
spaces. I hate them with the fire of 1,000 suns
yes.
now.
That, the sound of wind, blow dryers, and vacuums.
Yeah, smoke alarms are also a
And smoke
big
alarms.
trigger for my son. If he even smells smoke, he has a full-on panic attack because he thinks the smoke alarm's going to go off. He's not afraid of fire or smoke. He's
It's
afraid
the
of smoke
sound.
alarms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it. I get that.
I think it boils down to don't judge a book by its cover, because
Absolutely.
you never know
Amen.
what you might end up. You start reading that story. Once you crack that book open, you might like the story you're reading. Um, how do I want to phrase this next part outside of what I just said?
I like that. You don't crack
Um,
that book, you don't know what's inside it. You don't know what you're going to miss.
yeah, 'cause, you might not know what you're missing out on. To judge that or said person, they might you might be in a situation where you need something or information or something done, and that person that you just looked at and judged and was like, oh no, I want to talk to you. That person is probably the person you've been looking for. Um, and that just goes into further long-term judgment. I was kind of guilty of that back in, wow, I guess it was the late 80s. But I was young, and as I grew up, um, started to embrace more and more people, and met all kinds of people that are just awesome. Um, I love that I met Zach because he is definitely now to get to that part of the
He's a
question,
pain
the
in the butt,
long
but he's a
term.
good guy.
I'm only just
Uh,
getting to know him.
that part of the question, the long term, like I've been in the sense of prepping, but I've learned so much from him after meeting him. It was just like, huh, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. So it's just like, take it, never judge. You just don't know what you miss out on.
Yeah.
Everybody around you can teach you something. It's just whether or not you're willing to listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Living with unique abilities has shaped how I approach daily life and long-term preparedness. Every task requires adaptation, creativity, and determination. These skills have become second nature and have profoundly influenced how I think about prepping. Challenges are opportunities to think outside the box and discover methods that work for me. Prepping is not just about storing food or learning survival skills. It is about creating systems that allow me to be self-sufficient despite limitations. I work on customizing my approach to suit my unique abilities. Whether it's finding tools that are easier to handle or breaking tasks into manageable steps, I've learned that preparedness is personal and can't be one size fits all. Gardening has been an essential part of my prepping journey. I grow my own food in raised beds to make it more accessible. Each planting season comes with its own lessons.
Yeah, you got to
Potatoes.
I've
teach
had to figure out
squirrels
how to
something.
work around challenges like pests and accessibility. It's rewarding to harvest food I've grown and incorporated into my meals, showing that anyone can contribute to their own self-sufficiency. Cooking has also become a unique part of my prepping journey. I may need assistance with slicing or using the stove, but I make sure to learn and be involved. Preparing meals from scratch using homegrown ingredients is not only healthier but also deeply satisfying. It connects me to the process of sustaining myself and others around me. My work on the Unique Prepping channel is a big part of how I combine my unique abilities with prepping. I share tips, stories, and ideas to inspire others to prepare for the future, no matter their circumstances. The channel is a way to connect with people who might think prepping isn't for them or feel limited by their own challenges. I aim to show that everyone has something to contribute. Community is a huge part of my approach to preparedness. I believe that bringing people together makes us all stronger. I use my platform to promote unity and inclusivity within the prepping community. Sharing stories and creating a space for others to share theirs is a key part of my mission. We all bring unique skills and perspectives to the table. One of the most important aspects of my prepping philosophy is adaptability. Prepping isn't about expecting everything to go perfectly. It's about being ready to pivot when things go wrong. Living with unique abilities has given me a deep understanding of how to adapt to unexpected challenges. That mindset is essential for preparedness. Teaching others how to work with their own unique abilities has been a natural extension of my journey. Whether it's figuring out a better way to store supplies or demonstrating a skill that can be done differently, I aim to make prepping accessible for everyone. Showing others that they can contribute, even in small ways, is one of my greatest joys. The work I do through Unique Prepping is proof that limitations don't define us. Our abilities, our creativity, and our willingness to learn are what truly matter. Preparedness is about working with what you have and finding ways to overcome challenges. It's about being resourceful and resilient. My unique abilities are not barriers, they're tools that help me prepare for whatever comes next. UP out.
Yeah. It's about like perseverance, right? Like coming up with creative solutions to problems. Like I said, you got to teach me how to keep squirrels away from my garden, because like I love gardening and I love growing my own stuff, but man, squirrels eat like 90% of what I make.
Oh, just sit out there with a BB gun, you know.
Yeah, that's what
Because we keep getting them in the attic, and well, let me say less. But, they're crafty, man.
They're little ninjas, man. I'm telling you.
I might have to put something out there to distract them. I don't know.
It's like when you have like a bird feeder and they got those like squirrel proof bird feeders. Squirrels will always find a way around it. There's no such thing as a squirrel proof feeder.
I had one try on my hummingbird feeders, and like it's a pole that comes out the ground
Right.
that holds it, and I just ended up putting Vaseline on it, and I actually watched one of them. I was just sitting there calmly smoking on the back deck, just watching, just chilling, and I watched one try to go up, and he just kept slipping and sliding, slipping and sliding, slipping and sliding.
That's a creative solution.
Gotcha.
We had a squirrel, I think it was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, fall down my chimney, and he was in there for a few days. It was a long ways down. He was in there for a few days. I thought my house was haunted. I didn't know where the sounds were coming from, but yeah, he came out alive, so that's a good thing. But yeah, got him out of there.
Good eating though.
No thanks. Never tried it.
Oh, you haven't tried squirrel?
Not on purpose. I mean, I might have been to a restaurant that served it or something, but not by choice.
I'm a Southern boy. I've tried just about everything. I've had squirrel. I'm also a Florida boy, so I've eaten gator.
I like Gator though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Gators.
it's just
good.
it's chewy, but it's delicious.
I think I've tried about everything
Last
but
year I had
possum.
pesky grasshoppers.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like them
Locusts.
flying ones.
No, I can't trust those grasshoppers. They hop too much.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What role do you believe community plays in supporting individuals and families with unique abilities, and how can we build stronger networks of support?
For one, I think your channel
Ooh.
is amazing. Your channel, I think like advocating and community, like on, since, like when I go through stuff with my son, his specialists, his doctors or whatever, refer us to different uh, internet pages and stuff to help us, whatever. And you get to talk to other parents and stuff. And that alone, and what like Zach's doing, other people with pages with unique ability that are doing their own stuff, that like um, gives confidence to other people with this, the same things or different abilities, and helps build them that they can do it. If this person could do it, I could do it too. And you know, um, those websites, I think that they've been a great help for me. And when I read and talk to other parents and stuff, same for them. Just the support and advocating and talking and spreading awareness. And
Yeah, I think a little bit of visibility goes a long way.
oh yeah,
Um, just being exposed to other people who have gone through different things and have had different experiences and different challenges overcome. I think being a part of a community that will recognize that and reward that is definitely beneficial. Like what you're doing here on this channel, absolutely fantastic, fabulous. But also, like, to bring it back to my son again, like when we first had him when he was very young, he went to a preschool. We lived in Pennsylvania at the time, and they had no idea what to do with him. They didn't understand what to do with him, and we knew we had to get out of that situation. So we were going to move anyway because my wife changed jobs. We wound up finding a school district here in the St. Louis area that was well known for its community support and for its family support for people with unique abilities. And the difference was night and day. Like suddenly my son was able to cope and was able to perform in school and able to like integrate into a school setting with a lot less difficulty. Back in Pennsylvania, he had a teacher who just shoved him in a corner and put an iPad in his hand, and like that wasn't helping anybody. That wasn't good. But now he's in a place where he's got so much support from his teachers. It's incredible. Every single teacher knows him, knows what to do if he like has an overload,
yeah,
knows how to calm him down, knows how to talk to him, knows how to communicate with him,
and
knows
that's
how to
big.
listen to him, and like that. It's
That's
a
big.
world of difference.
Oh
It's so
yeah,
huge. And I think we need more communities like that. We shouldn't have to, scour around to find that one school district that's good at it. We should have a lot more of that around.
I agree.
And I think that's important, especially like just from the, like schools is like from the beginning, we need to have that support from the very beginning. Yeah. And again, like I said, I think visibility is really important. I think, honoring the work and lives of people with unique abilities is really the way to go, so that other people can be inspired and can recognize the human value of people who are different than us.
Right. And it's like back to the last question and stuff, um, like again, back to my son as well. Just like like you were saying, the people that's around you, the schools, all that stuff, he's not in school yet, but it's nice when he has other kids around him his age to play with and stuff. And You know, he's around his cousins probably more than anybody, and they are learning, like when they see him start rocking or wiggling his fingers or something, they know to quiet down, because he's starting to get anxiety. It's starting to freak him out a little bit. And just having that awareness, just people like, I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, and I grew up, a friend of the family, like a neighbor, their daughter was about my age and had some kind of issue. I'm not really sure what it was, but she was severely, I don't know how to put it. She had some severe challenges, but like for me, it was just another kid. It wasn't a
Right.
kid with a problem. It was just another kid. And she and I were basically raised together, to the point that I didn't even recognize that there was anything about her that was different, anything about her that was quote unquote wrong, even though there isn't anything wrong with
Right.
her. And I think that's important. If we could have that kind of an exposure for everyone, then a lot of that ignorance and a lot of that fear and a lot of that disgust will just go away.
It breaks a stereotype, just like these websites and stuff that, you know, that talk about it and stuff. It helps break that.
Yeah.
And
And I think in this age of the internet, yeah, I think we can do a lot with channels like this. Just yeah.
I learned from Zach a lot, and I pick his brain a lot. And it's like when my son met him, he automatically pulled towards him, and like they have this really great relationship. And you know, he sees him on here, and I have to act like Uncle Zach went to sleep, so that way he don't overtake my computer and stuff. But you know, Zach is really good with him, and he's also taught me some things, and along with some people in my group. I won't say the names and stuff, but they also have children that have faced challenges and stuff, and have their advice, and they've been a blessing to me. Like I said, this is all new to me. He's still a baby, and I'm learning, and he's learning, and it's good to have people.
Agreed. And yeah, I think I learned a lot from other parents of other kids. I mean, even if like they were going through it at the exact same time that we were, like we were learning together. We were teaching each other how to navigate this new world that we're not used to, you know. Granted, I had a leg up. I've talked about it before. I taught special needs when I was in college because I was going to be a secondary education teacher, and they shoved me in the classroom with all the special ed kids, and I got along fine with them. I thought it was great. So
Yeah.
like I said, I had a bit of a leg up because I've had a lot of exposure throughout my life. But I still feel like I learned so much just from other parents who were just figuring it out, you know, because especially for kids, like for a kid growing up to have anything that makes them feel abnormal, anything,
Right.
it's like the world coming to an end. It makes
Right.
it so much harder. And every kid goes through that to some degree, but people with unique abilities go through it even more. And
Here's
yeah,
one thing I've noticed, like with some people, like it's funny because other kids are more likely to like act like, or not act like, not see the disability or the challenge or the whatever, and just play with the kid like nothing. And sometimes it's the parents that need educated. And but it's like, you know, kids are
agreed.
funny, and kids are, you know, I have a granddaughter that is, um she has a very rare gene mutation, and so she has like over 9 different types of seizures, and she's got this spot on her brain that has, how do I say it, has turned black. I'll say it that way. And it's funny because, like, you know, there's 4 of them, and the little one, like, they just play with him and do their thing. But the one I'm talking about, she knows with my son, but she's different. She's like, the baby will like baby him, but then that one, my granddaughter will be like, up, Anais is about to blow. I'm out of here. She's like, not gonna deal with that right now. But yeah, but kids actually, like I said, sometimes I think it's more the parents that need
Yeah, I think
educated.
I think generally speaking, I think tolerance is inherent and bigotry is learned. Like
Yes.
I think that
Well
tends to
said.
be true.
Well said.
Um,
Well said.
I had something else, but I
Yeah,
forgot what I was going to say.
I
I
thought Shane
think
fell
y'all
asleep
said it.
because we talked
No, I
over
think
him.
y'all said it all. I mean,
He's just listening.
no, I mean, for the role of the community, yeah, awareness, education, um, how do you say, basically teaching.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
don't be a bigot. You need to stop and assess your mindset if you want to think this one way, but what you need to do is actually kind of think outside of the box that you're stuck in. Um, I mean, y'all really said it though.
One thing I will add is I feel like this generation now, because my son's in high school, I feel like this younger generation is a lot more tolerant than my generation was. When I was in high school, we were jerks to each other, for lack of a better word. And we weren't as tolerant. Like kids today seem to have a more natural understanding of people with unique abilities. Autism specifically, because there's so much of it around. Kids are a lot more in tuned to it, like a lot more tolerant of it and understanding of it. Um, I see a lot less people getting picked on for being different than I did when I was growing up. And I don't know if it's because of where I grew up versus where I am now, or if it really is like this generational change. I think every generation has their challenges, but I definitely have a lot of hope when I see how my son's classmates treat him and treat other people like him. Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even hit the school age yet, so I'll let you know when we get there.
Good luck. Those first few years are the hardest, or were the hardest for me at least. Like, even with all my background, I still really resisted the idea that there was something different about my son. Like, it took so long. Like, the A word was thrown around, and I was like, not even listening to it until, he's still not talking at 3,
Yeah.
still not talking at 4, and I kind of had to, you know.
We're waiting they're trying to get us in to put him in ABA. At first I was against it because I heard so much negative stuff about it and kind of scared me because he's still so tiny and everything. And then, but he's, can be a little bit violent sometimes, can kind of kick my ass every now and then.
I remember
And
those days.
yeah, so we're looking into that right now
That's
to help
hard.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned to duck really good, really fast. I'm only 5'1", so I haven't really got the jump yet to jump and miss things, but I've got the duck pretty good, I guess.
You're taller than my wife, just so you know.
Woohoo! I'm taller than somebody.
From what you've said, it sounds like your kid probably has a little bit more of that aggression than my kid did, but I still had that problem and had to deal with that problem, and it did eventually fade over time.
Yeah, I pray it does because
it's harsh.
It's hard.
Want a little story? When I was
Sweet.
2, my dad took me up to Washington State to visit his best friend's family, and we went to see his sister. She had twins my age, so Dad put me down so I could play with them. Get this, she literally picked them up and took them away from me because she thought I was contagious.
Ugh.
Can I have her address?
Oh, God. That makes me so mad.
It does. It's like annoying, and that's what I mean. I've been places, and I've Zach, that makes me angry. Um, I've been places. My son has, he does the whole finger thing, like he wiggles his fingers and stuff when he gets anxiety. And we go in stores, like I said, the bright lights bother him, whatever. Well, he gets stuck on repeat sometimes. and he'll like wake up and he'll have one thing in his head and he'll go all day with that one thing over and over and over and over. And one of his biggest things is he sings the Finger Family song. He'll sing it out loud. He'll sing it in English. He'll sing it in Spanish. I think he sings it in Chinese. He like does all the things, and sometimes he sings it in his head and just moves his fingers. And um, one day he was stuck on repeat, and these guys in my group know this story already, but I'm gonna say it again. He was stuck on repeat, and he was doing the Finger Family, and this day I guess it was all about Daddy middle finger. And I had one lady tap me at one time. Had a really busy day in town, and she taps me, and she's like, kind of laughed and kind of giggled, and she's like, points out what my son's doing, and I'm like, yeah, he's singing the Finger Family in his head, and I just kind of hee hee, like, but I could see like she made sure to point it out, but she did it in a nice way. And then sometime later, another lady did it. She taps me, and she was not so nice, and God forgive me because I don't like to do that, but it's my child, and she taps me and she says, oh my gosh, look what your son is doing. And she's like, said it with the biggest attitude. And I looked at my poor baby and I looked back at her and I was like, yeah, he usually does that when he sees people he don't like. And she kind of walked off and then I went my way. But it just like, he's a baby. Do you really think he's flipping the bird at you? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like hard not to be like, I am protective. I don't think there's anything that's overprotective, but there are people like that out there, and I've seen it. He's just a baby.
You had absolutely every right to be bratty in that situation.
I didn't get my name from nothing. I've had this name since I was little, so yeah. Yeah. I probably didn't handle that right. I'm not proud of that moment, but it happened.
As a parent, you very quickly learn you're not going to handle everything correctly, and you just got to not feel too guilty about it and just move on.
Wow. I'm not a parent, but I am that overprotective friend of my buddy with MS. And yeah, we did have an incident at Six Flags where we were standing in line to go on this ride down the river. And one of the people that actually worked there came and told us they saw him. And it was just like, oh, are you disabled? And he's just like, why you think I just stand like this for fun? And I mean, it was so funny. And he was just like, well, no, I was just wanting to say, you can go into this line, the handicap line. And all of us with him, yeah, we jumped in, there's no wait. And there was a group of a-holes that had to make a snarky comment, like, oh, that's not fair just because of the R word.
Oh.
Y'all can go ahead. And one of my buddies that was with us just turned right around, was like, F you say?
Mm.
And we had a small rumble, but the park ended up throwing those guys up.
Well, good.
And let us continue to the ride. That was like
front of the line,
yeah.
baby.
Well, good on the
like
park.
I said, that most people, are understanding and good and whatever. And when you look at my son, you don't see it until he starts moving or talking or whatever. But for the most part, people are good. There's a ton of amazing people out there, but you do have those a-holes. Sorry, Funky, I know you hate that word, but there is some out there, and there's some that aren't teaching their kids to love everybody. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I do remind my son that 99% of the people that he interacts with treat him as a normal human being, right? But there's that 1%. Yes, be angry at that 1%. Sure, that's fine. But don't don't let it get to your head to the point that you think everybody's going to treat you that way.
No, and that's like with any of us. That's
Yeah.
like, hello, I don't get treated right by some people some of the time. Like, that's with any of us. So, yeah, I get that.
It's like me as a YouTuber. I could have like 1,000 good comments on a video, but one negative comment will just have me
Yeah.
second guessing everything.
That's me. The last few weeks, I've questioned my whole
Community
life.
serves as the backbone for individuals and families with unique abilities. It provides a sense of belonging, helping people feel connected and supported in ways that go beyond practical assistance. Emotional encouragement from others who understand or empathize with similar challenges can be a lifeline for those navigating life with unique abilities. A strong community offers resources that address specific needs. This includes sharing information about adaptive tools, therapy options, or financial assistance programs. Communities often become hubs for problem solving, where individuals can share experiences and solutions that have worked for them. Having a community creates opportunities for advocacy. It amplifies voices that might otherwise go unheard, pushing for greater societal inclusion and policy changes. This collective power can challenge stereotypes and create a more equitable environment for everyone involved. Community provides social interaction and reduces isolation. For individuals with unique abilities or their families, isolation can be a significant barrier to mental and emotional health. Engaging in community activities fosters friendships, builds trust, and allows individuals to see they are not alone in their journey. Networks of support encourage education and awareness among those outside the community. By involving others in conversations about unique abilities, communities can bridge gaps in understanding. This promotes inclusion and encourages people to step up and provide meaningful support in their own ways. Stronger networks are built by encouraging communication and collaboration. Bringing people together through events, forums, or support groups strengthens connections and allows for shared growth. Communities thrive when they are open, inclusive, and committed to helping one another thrive. UP out.
Can I say this real quick? I can kind of see chat, and I just want Chrissy to know I'm lifting her and her family up in prayer, and anybody else who needs it. But yeah, so just wanted to say that. Love you, Chrissy.
Yeah, Chrissy, you're awesome.
Hi,
But no,
everybody
you're
in
right.
chat we missed.
I think inclusion is important. It's less forcing inclusion as it is just not excluding people because you think they can't do something, right? You just make an assumption and say, well, obviously this person can't be here because they can't do this and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Question number 4. What is one lesson you've learned from navigating life with unique abilities that you think everyone, regardless of their situation, should take to heart?
Wow. I think that we are all blessed, and that thank God we are all different. What a boring world this would be if we were all the same. And we can all learn from each other and help each other. Just people just need to love everybody. Don't judge by what you see.
Yeah, I think at the risk of repeating myself, I think you have to recognize that your perspective is painfully limited, and that you can learn so much from other people because everybody's going through something different. Everybody's life is different, their experiences are different, their perspective on life is different, and you need to listen and understand and appreciate different perspectives in order to grow as a person, because otherwise you're just going to get tunnel vision and you're going to assume everybody's like you, and that's just not true.
I have to say, absolutely never never think you're alone. Never look at it as a negative or a downfall. Uh, there's somebody else like you. Don't look at it as a setback
Right.
because you never know whose life you could touch, whose life you could help. Um, and never look at it like a weakness.
I agree.
There's strength into pretty much every situation or like ability, tick, uh, um, what's the word I'm looking here? Yeah, never look at it as a negative.
Okay, Huntress, this question. Invited to a birthday party in a jump place. You knew it would be loud and she wouldn't handle it well, so you didn't take her. This is a really, really tricky one because on one hand, you do want to avoid situations where you know the sensory overload is going to be a problem or something like that. On the other hand, sometimes when you expose a kid to a situation that they've never experienced before, they'll actually take to it in a way you don't expect. Like for me, my son, again, a lot of sensory issues, a lot of other issues. I never wanted to take him to the beach, even though I'm a Florida boy. You know, I was born on the beach. I never wanted to take him to the beach because I didn't think he could handle it. And then one day, we had a family wedding out in South Carolina, I think at Myrtle Beach. And we had to take him to the beach because, you know, it was a wedding. I didn't want to say no to a wedding. And it turns out he freaking loves the beach. He's all about it. He was like literally standing in the ocean going, "This is fine," as the waves are crashing over him. And I was floored. Again, it's that making assumptions thing. But again, like I said, you do what it's a delicate balance. You want to protect your kid from situations that you know are not going to go well. And it's a value judgment. It's a judgment call. Because I can imagine taking my son to a jump place, to a place like that, like to a Chuck E. Cheese. I know those don't really exist anymore, and I could see him completely freaking out, losing his mind. It's like that scene in Parenthood with the kid with the retainer at a Chuck E. Cheese. I could see that playing out badly, and I would say, no, I don't want to take my son there. But on the other hand, I kind of feel like I should, just to make sure. Don't make those kinds of assumptions for your kid. So short answer is I don't really have an answer. It's the two sides of the coin.
I totally get what you're saying. Like there's we don't go eat dinner like after it starts getting dark because my son decides to turn into a gremlin and he's gonna everybody know. So like again to one of the previous questions, you just learn to work with what you know, whatever. Almost the same like you. We went up to North Carolina, actually, to Wilmington last summer, and my daughter had booked this thing at a place called Sand Dollar Island. So they take you out on a boat with a bunch of people and then drop you off at this island, and you're there for a couple hours. I stressed about that for the longest time. What's going to happen? Should I make her cancel my part? She had already paid for it. We went back and forth. I was like so worried about him. Like I said, the sound of wind, he will plug his ears and fall to the floor. Like I was like freaking out. But when we went ahead and we're going to do it. We went, and it was so nice, and the water was it was just so smooth. Everything went well. He loved it. It was almost like therapy for him. The water and it was amazing. So now I can't wait to take him back again. He always says the ocean. So we actually plan on moving there to North Carolina one day. But yeah, he loved the ocean.
I still can't explain why my son loves it, because he has this like pervasive, deathly, horrible fear of drowning. Like he does not like being immersed in water in any way. We've tried to teach him how to swim, taking him to the YMCA, but he just can't deal with it. So the fact that he's able to he goes out to the ocean and he's fine walking out into the waves. What? It still doesn't make sense to me.
I was worried about the sand, the texture. So we had got him some little water shoes, and I think that made a world of difference because he didn't have to feel that between his toes, or we probably would have had a really rough time. But yeah, that's amazing. He loved that, huh?
Yeah. You never know until you try.
Exactly.
I
What
think
were you saying,
another
Shane?
I think another part of my answer to that question is look, let me get on camera for this one because uh, um this
Oh
is one I
crap! You're
love to
black.
use. Yeah, this is what I love to use is don't believe the hype. Especially when it comes now you might appreciate this. Um when it comes to movies and its portrayal. Um a thing you can learn is don't believe how movies portray certain syndromes. And the specific one I'm talking about is The Predator, where the
Ah!
child character
Don't
is
talk to me about that
supposed to
movie.
he's supposed to have Asperger's. And it's just like, that's not how that works. Now, in context, let's go back here to the question for a second. Oh, you took it down. Oh no, there it is. No, wait, where'd it go? Where'd the question go? I'm trying to go through this point by point. One lesson learned from navigating life. Yeah, don't believe what other people are telling you. Well, outside of reality. Um, and it's like a movie like that is telling you, oh, this is how it works. I was like, no, you're never really going to know until you meet somebody that has said thing
Right.
to get a fuller understanding or do your own research. Don't believe what Hollywood is telling you. Um, regardless of the situation. Yeah, you should take it to heart because a lot of people did take it to heart about the way they portrayed this kid. It made no sense whatsoever. Um, this kid was just quiet, shy, and smart for no reason. And I was like, that's not how Asperger's works. Just deal with the situation in real life and then make your judgment. Don't make your judgment based on a Hollywood portrayal of that situation or anything. Yeah.
No, and I think that like the Hollywood thing, like I talked about Rain Man earlier. The Predator's a much better example because that movie is beyond offensive.
Garbage. Offensive
But like,
on other aspects
oh
than
yeah,
that.
just in terms of writing. um, but like,
Uh,
I think it does come from a good place. You know, the devil's road is paved with good intentions. I do feel like Hollywood's trying to be inclusive, trying to show that, you know, people like this exist and that you should treat them as people, but then they get wrapped up in these plots that make them like shoehorn them into stereotypes. Like that Rain Man stereotype bugs me because it is so pervasive. People think anybody with autism is Rain Man, and it's just not how it works. You know, the good thing about the Predator is that most people recognize that that movie is complete garbage and nobody pays attention to it. Whereas Rain Man won like Academy Awards. I
well, more or less for Dustin Hoffman's
Yeah, I mean,
acting.
and he did do a good job acting. It's more like
Yeah.
the way the plot works out, and just it stereotyped autism. Like if there had been more movies like that where they presented a wider range of autism, maybe the stereotype wouldn't be around. But that's kind of hard. Like, can you really do that? Can you make like 10 movies about autism? Are people really going to go see that? I don't know. It is frustrating, and I don't have an answer. But I see what you were saying before you disappeared. Danny. Greetings, Danny. Oh, he's back.
All right. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. But yeah, can I think that was I think it was actually a thing to where
family members were taking their autistic family members into the casino. It was like, you can play blackjack. I saw it in a movie. Like, no! Jeez.
Think anybody with any kind of autism can like count sticks that you drop on the floor or something. It's obnoxious, to be honest. And I've seen that in my day-to-day life with my son. It's frustrating that is still a thing.
Yeah, you're gonna start watching People's Court. All right.
Hey, Zach. Hey, Zach, there's some members of your group picking on me in chat. I'm about to boot them. Just kidding. Just kidding. I can see my name and I see what they're saying. They're going to get it when I get out of here.
Understanding resilience is key. Living with unique abilities teaches you how to adapt to a world that often isn't designed with you in mind. It builds a mental toughness and resourcefulness that applies to every aspect of life. Resilience isn't about never failing, it's about getting back up and finding a new way forward. Patience becomes a lifelong companion. Simple tasks that others may take for granted often require extra time or effort. This teaches the value of slowing down and appreciating the process. Patience extends beyond the self to others, fostering a greater capacity for empathy and understanding. Perspective shifts are constant. You learn to see the world differently, noticing details and challenges that others overlook. This new perspective offers insights into problem solving and creativity, which can be applied universally. Unique abilities often create a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities.
Hey, Rocket Queen.
Collaboration is vital. Rarely can everything be done alone, and this reality fosters strong communication skills and a willingness to work with others. Whether it's with family, friends, or a broader community, living with unique abilities demonstrates the strength found in unity. Gratitude becomes second nature. Challenges often highlight the things that truly matter. A supportive family member, a reliable tool, or even a moment of peace takes on greater significance. Gratitude creates a positive outlook, even in difficult circumstances. Adaptability becomes a cornerstone of daily life. When things don't go as planned, you learn to pivot and find new solutions. Flexibility becomes a skill that applies to every challenge, making it easier to face unexpected changes with confidence. Empathy grows stronger with time. Experiencing life through the lens of unique abilities deepens your capacity to understand others' struggles. It builds a connection to people from all walks of life, creating a sense of unity and shared humanity. Self-advocacy becomes essential. You learn the importance of standing up for your needs and rights. This lesson encourages confidence and assertiveness, empowering you to navigate life on your terms while inspiring others to do the same. UP out.
No, I think there's a lot of truth in that one. Like the idea that you have to use all these tools. You have to find all these tools to get through a world that is not built for you. And I think the effort that you have to put into it changes you. And I think it makes you a lot stronger than us normies that don't have that problem, you know? Like, I still stand by my statement that nobody is normal. Everybody's got an issue. But I do feel like if you have to use those tools, if you have to find tools that other people don't even think about, just to go grocery shopping, just to do something normal, I think you learn a different way of looking at life, a way of persevering, a way of advocating for yourself. And like you said, self-reliance. And you said something else in there that was a lot like that. I can't remember what it was now. But yeah, like I said, a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, that is a good point. Two people are not alike. We're all snowflakes at the end. But yeah, you can't judge. Oh man, to go back to that point, yeah, you definitely can't judge that book by the cover, especially when you meet somebody like to universally try to stereotype. Oh, you have this, you have that. So everybody else I meet with the same thing, they're going to be the same way. It's like, no, it, wow, it really takes the community to educate the individual on how to not judge like that.
There's your light,
But
Zach.
community's got to step up, I guess.
100%.
Question number 5. If you could change one thing about how society views or interacts with people who have unique abilities, what would it be and why?
This is kind of you kind of already stole this answer, Zach. But
I was going to say that too.
what I had written down was empathize, don't patronize. Like learn or patronize. Sorry, Shane. Learn to be empathic to like, you don't necessarily have to sympathize to have like lived what they've lived to empathize. And I think you can do that without coming across as paternalistic or like you're better than somebody else. And I think that is a skill that is learned over time and a skill that needs to be taught. It's not easy, but I think that is one thing I wish society could learn how to do that, to empathize without patronizing.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Zach did send me the questions, and I was taking a nap again, so I didn't get to look over these. So mine might not make sense, but I'm going to say it anyways. Like, one of the things for me, again, I go back to my son because this is what I know, this is what I'm living.
It's your experience, yeah.
But sometimes I think that people, how do I want to say this? People like look at somebody, and I don't want to, okay, maybe judge them, but like just think by looking at them, they know what they need or what this person can do or can't do or whatever. And I've learned this like with my son, like people don't do this with him, do this with him, don't do that with him. And me, I might be handling it wrong, I don't know. But with my son, like I want to give him the chance to be himself and to do everything that he can do. And if he can't do something, he will let me know. But I feel like when you're telling one person they can only do one thing or something, or not giving them the tools that they need or whatever, sometimes when you do that to people, like, okay, so like I said, my son can't. He's partly nonverbal. And so by just me deciding, oh no, here, you're too little for this, or you can't do this or whatever, that's what pushes people into a depression or whatever. Let them be themselves. Let them learn. You know, help them. Am I making sense?
No, yeah, totally. You want to, as a parent,
you don't want to stop them from.
Yeah, you want to say you can't do that, but at the same time, you don't want to say you can't do that. You have to.
Right.
You have to teach them how to do something rather than just tell them they can't do it or they're not.
Yeah, you got to trust them so they can, find out for themselves if they can do it. Who knows? They could probably do a whole lot more. A certain person, like, can do a whole lot more than they think they can if they're given the chance, But me, I do get scared sometimes. I'm like, oh, no, you're going to get hurt. Then I keep thinking to myself, he's a little boy. If he gets hurt, he'll.
Yeah, they're made of rubber.
Yeah, he'll survive and he'll try it again, and I'll stress out again. But don't stop somebody from being who they are. Give them some encouragement, and let them know that you have their support.
You are absolutely right, and that I think is one of the hardest lessons for any parent to learn. It's really, really hard, but you are absolutely correct.
I'm learning it, and but I'm not saying that I don't get stressed out sometimes when he does some stuff. But I still want to give him that opportunity.
Yeah, if you're not stressed out, you're not parenting. honestly.
Well, I'm doing a damn good job then because I'm stressed the hell out.
I would change the media's perception and portrayal of how they do this to go back to, best movie of the year. It came out, The Predator. Um, I would change that portrayal. We're going to rope in, Rain Man into that. How big media, Hollywood, everybody, they portray this stuff. We don't get actual people to play these roles, or at least have them or somebody on set to get a full understanding of what's going on.
At least with Rain
With
Man, I
them.
feel like the people who made Rain Man and like Dustin Hoffman probably talked to actual people who have autism. Whereas with The Predator, I'm not sure they've even met anybody with autism. Anybody on set in that movie.
Nah,
Well, maybe we should remake that movie. And hey, I was gonna say to the mods in chat, I can see parts of it sometimes. Sometimes I can't. But if you guys can drop the links of everybody on panel and in chat that have links to share, that would be fabulous. I can't do it, or I'd normally do it. But what does Sick calls me? What did you call me? The link
uh,
slinger. The link slinger.
oh yeah.
Can somebody sling some links for me, please?
Yeah, I just hate the way Hollywood likes to, like, oh, this is what this character with this certain thing acts like. And it's like, nah, you kind of missed the mark. Stop it. If you're not gonna do it properly, just don't do it.
Yeah.
That was kind of a thing they did with what was it? Marvel TV show Echo. Um, they did get a lady that was missing a leg, but she had no idea how to fight, so it just looked clunky. Um,
Better than
there are
Iron Fist.
plenty of Native American, whatever, women or Indian, whatever she was supposed to be,
Yeah,
with
Native
one
American.
leg that can fight. Just cast the right people to do
Yeah.
this. Media portrayal needs to stop when they don't know what they're doing.
I agree
Um,
with you on that.
it,
Totally agree with you on that.
it just floods out and puts the thoughts into people's heads who don't really know about a certain thing. It was like, oh, this is what it's like for that person. It was like, no, they're lying to you.
I've thought
Honestly,
I've
I think
thought
it would
that.
be easier to change society's interpretation of Hollywood than it would be to change Hollywood. So
Yeah. I've thought that
Yeah,
several times too, though. I've thought that, well, why are they having this person play this when, just like, okay, so we have the Stolen Spirits MMIWG page, Missing Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. And I watch a lot of the movies. I'm part Native, I'm half Native. And like when I'm watching the movies, I'm like, but there's in every walk of life, there's people that would love to play their part, do good in their own race, in their own, whatever, and show what it's the real accent, the real everything. And it's like, but no, they always use the same actors and stuff. Use people like other people would like to be actors and stuff to use them. Like, I agree.
well, see, that's one thing I loved about Orange is the New Black. Um, they had the one character. Oh, what's their name? I think it's Laverne Cox. I think who's actual black
Oh yeah,
transgender,
yep,
and they nailed that role perfectly.
yeah. Nobody could have
But
done it better.
then we got stuff like thank you, Peter Dinklage, for the whole new Snow White movie that's coming out. That seven small little people. I don't know I don't know what
Seven
the
dwarfs.
politically correct term is
Seven small
anymore.
little people. Yeah.
But you just his comments denied 7 of them a chance to be in a major movie.
Exactly. Exactly. Instead of shrinking the screen, there's people that would love to do it, that could do it, and
And then we got this CGI abomination. The movie's gonna bomb.
Oh, totally.
Um,
It's gonna be a disaster.
but to get into the sense of diversity, hiring because we got Rachel Zegler as Snow White. I'm like, what? Um, media, Hollywood, all these people in the media sphere really portray things the way they don't need to be portrayed and lead this misconception. And that just ties into the community of people with their unique abilities. And it's just like, just stop. But they won't because they see dollar signs and it ends up
yeah,
being a negative. And it happens all the time and they're not learning.
yeah,
That's where a change really needs to be made because this is just consumption by the masses. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of people are seeing this and they're buying into it because they don't know no better. I can't blame the consumer. I blame the provider.
yeah,
I really do.
yeah. I agree.
Go, Zach.
Society often approaches unique abilities with pity rather than respect. Many people see
Yeah.
individuals with unique abilities as less capable, focusing on their limitations rather than their strengths. This perspective undermines the confidence of individuals and creates unnecessary barriers. Shifting this mindset to one that values capabilities and potential could change lives. The language used to describe unique abilities can be damaging. Terms like disabled or handicapped carry negative connotations that reinforce stereotypes. Choosing empowering language that highlights strength and individuality would reshape societal perceptions. Words have power, and changing how we speak about unique abilities can influence how we think about them. Representation in media and leadership positions remains limited. People with unique abilities are often absent from roles of influence, leaving their stories untold.
Yeah.
Increasing representation would normalize their presence in all aspects of life. When society sees individuals with unique abilities succeeding in diverse fields, it challenges preconceived notions. Accessibility is still treated as an afterthought in many spaces. Buildings, transportation, and public events often fail to accommodate individuals with unique abilities.
100%.
Making accessibility a priority would demonstrate respect and inclusion. Designing spaces with everyone in mind should be standard practice rather than a special consideration. Education plays a significant role in shaping societal views. Schools rarely teach about unique abilities in a way that fosters understanding and empathy. Incorporating lessons on diversity and inclusion into curriculums would build a foundation of acceptance. Educating children early can create a more inclusive future. Employment opportunities remain unequal for those with unique abilities. Employers often underestimate their capabilities, leading to limited job prospects. Fostering inclusive workplaces and focusing on strengths would provide opportunities for growth. Fair representation in the workforce benefits individuals and society as a whole. Community support systems are inconsistent or non-existent in many areas. Families and individuals often face challenges alone without access to resources. Building stronger support networks would ensure no one feels isolated. A society that takes care of its members thrives together. Healthcare professionals sometimes approach unique abilities with a narrow focus on limitations. Shifting the healthcare model to one of holistic care and empowerment would improve quality of life. Supporting autonomy and providing resources tailored to individual needs could create better outcomes. Public events and programs rarely prioritize inclusivity. Festivals, conferences, and gatherings often overlook the needs of those with unique abilities. Making inclusivity the norm in planning these events would create shared experiences. Society benefits when everyone can participate fully in communal activities. The stigma surrounding unique abilities persists due to lack of exposure and understanding. People fear what they don't understand, which perpetuates exclusion. Encouraging open conversations and sharing personal stories would break down barriers. Fostering connections leads to greater empathy and a more united society. UP out.
Well said, Zach.
Yeah, I think inclusivity is the thing because there's this feedback loop where we're not exposed enough to people with unique abilities, so people with unique abilities don't get the opportunity to be in positions where they're more visible because it just loops on itself. So yeah, so you're absolutely right, Zach. Well said.
Yeah, that is a good point there. Like concert events and stuff like that that have the lack of accessibility. Yeah, I think if you did put more of that in events like that, yeah, that visual is there, and people may think about it more. And be like, huh,
Yeah.
maybe they got a point. Maybe I might say something at an event. So it's like, hey, why don't you have, this accessible apparatus for a person to get here? Don't you want
Yeah.
everybody to come into this? Don't you want to maximize your profits? But it boils back down to we gotta spend money to do that, and it's the heartlessness of them that kind of keeps that from going. It's like, we'll make enough of them to get our money back. Well, no, why make millions when we can make billions? I mean, come on now.
And that's good, Shane. Like we got to speak out more. Like you see something like that, and people need to speak out more. Yeah, they're gonna say about the whole money thing because that's usually what happens. But the more people that are out there pushing it and stuff, because it's not fair.
Yeah, and it's more than just parking spaces and wheelchair
Oh,
ramps. There's a
definitely.
lot more to it than
Yeah.
that. And I think when you're a concert promoter, you're not really thinking about anything more than that, and you should be. So
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't know. I wish, hope that people keep learning, and treat everybody the same because, like Shane said earlier, you can't judge a book by its cover. And um, I don't want my son to grow up and think that's okay. That he has to that he does need to treat everybody the same and with respect as well. I want to teach him that. And just like Zach, he's always flipping me off and making me tons, and I'm going to treat him just like anybody else. He didn't think so, but when I seen him, I held him down and gave him a noogie. He wants to play, I'm going to play. You treat everybody the same. Everybody deserves the same love, the same respect, and the same kind of noogies.
amen.
Oh, it's that time. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I need to get up early in the morning.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Shane. Good to see
No,
you.
always a pleasure.
Good to be on panel with you again.
Tug, we need to collaborate. Brady, you're awesome as always. Zach, well, I guess I can't do it visually. but you know what finger I'm sending you right now. Oh, you did it. Well, right back at you, buddy.
See that picture right there he's showing right there? That picture that was on the screen is when I said goodbye to him the last time I seen him, and that's how he told me goodbye.
That's awesome.
That was his wave to me, so. You have a good night, Shane.
Yeah, we'll holler at you later. Zach, are you gonna join me Sunday on the exposure stream? All right, I got you. All right. We'll holler
Drive
at you
safe,
later. Good night,
Chrissy, too.
chat. Oh yeah, of course I have to. Apparently, if we're getting snow up here, but yeah, you guys have a great rest of the stream. Great talking to you all.
Yep, we'll get together.
All right, good night, y'all. Good
You
night,
too,
chat.
Shane. Have a good night.
Wow.
All right, have a great one.
Chrissy, drive home safely.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
I'm like struggling with chat. I see some people, I can't, I'm on two different things and I'm struggling here, but hi to everybody that said hi and that I missed. I didn't get to read. I just seen people talking about me and from my own group.
Yeah.
So they'll talk to me after. I'll talk to them after. But
A little update for you. Things have happened and unfortunately we had to refund the money for the military service donation.
what?
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard Chrissy was none too happy about it.
Oh no. I didn't hear that. That's not good. Are we talking about with
Any final words for tonight?
No, but okay, yeah. I mean, I'll just repeat what I was saying before. Everybody's going through it. Everybody's different. You have to listen. You have to understand. You have to appreciate. Empathize. Don't patronize. That's basically my final message for this. Yeah. Zach, you are amazing. I love that you're doing this. And yeah, you're a force for good on the internet, and that's rare. So thank you.
That's why I say just, treat everybody the same. Give everybody a chance. Love everybody just give everybody a chance. It's not that hard. Everybody deserves love and respect. But,
Agreed.
yeah. Well, I'll stop.
As we close out this powerful episode, I want to take a moment to reflect on the depth and impact of today's discussion. Hearing from voices with unique abilities and those who support them has been an eye-opening experience. The insights shared by our panelists remind us that every individual, no matter their circumstances, has a story worth telling and a role to play in building a stronger, more inclusive community. Conversations like these matter, and they help pave the way for understanding, acceptance, and meaningful change. Today's panel showcased the strength, resilience, and wisdom that come from living life with unique abilities or supporting someone who does. These stories of perseverance are a testament to the human spirit and the ability to thrive in the face of challenges. They remind us that unique abilities are not limitations, they are part of the diverse tapestry of humanity that makes our world beautiful and inspiring. We are all here for a purpose, and each story shared today reinforces the importance of embracing that truth. Every conversation we have about unique abilities helps dismantle misconceptions and fosters greater understanding. When we listen, we learn. When we learn, we grow. This growth benefits not only individuals but also society as a whole. It strengthens our communities and helps us build bridges where once there were walls. Change starts with dialogue, and I am grateful to every panelist and viewer who has contributed to this important discussion. Respect, inclusion, and understanding are not privileges, they are rights that every person deserves. It is our responsibility to create environments that honor those rights and make space for every voice to be heard. The changes we've discussed today, whether in language, accessibility, or representation, are not just ideas. They are calls to action for all of us to do better and be better in how we interact with one another. The strength of any community lies in its ability to come together and support one another. Unique abilities are not barriers to community, they are opportunities to expand our understanding and redefine what it means to be united. By fostering inclusivity and embracing diversity, we create spaces where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute. This is the heart of what it means to be prepared, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. The experiences and wisdom shared today serve as a reminder that life is not defined by limitations but by possibilities. Each of us has a role to play in shaping a world where those possibilities are accessible to all. Whether through advocacy, education, or simply taking the time to listen and learn, we can all make a difference. Together, we can create a future where unique abilities are celebrated and everyone has the opportunity to thrive. For those watching, I encourage you to take what you've heard today and let it inspire you to action. Share these stories, spark conversations, and work toward making inclusivity a reality in your own circles. These changes don't happen overnight, but they start with each of us committing to be part of the solution. Let today be the beginning of a journey toward greater understanding and unity. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Your engagement is essential in spreading this message and growing our community of understanding and support. Together, we can ensure that these conversations reach more people who need to hear them. To find anything Unique Prepping, visit the LinkTree link pinned to the top of the chat. Your support makes all the difference, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. As we wrap up, I want to thank you all for joining me today and being part of this journey. Your support, encouragement, and willingness to learn are what make this community so special. I hope this episode has inspired you to see the world through a new lens and to embrace the unique abilities within yourself and others. Every step we take together brings us closer to a more understanding and inclusive world. I love you all. Remember the words from Philippians 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. Stay prepared, stay unique, and God bless.
Amen. And yes,
Amen.
celebrate our differences. It's great being up here with you guys. Thanks for having me, Zach. I love you, BF. Tug, you're amazing.
Thank you. And thank you for having me, Zach. It's good.
Have a good night, everybody in chat. Love you all. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to click the thumbs up.
Do it.
Do it now.
Nutrient survival isn't just survival food. It's special ops grade. Built to the nutritional standards of the U.S. Special Ops and packed with 40 essential nutrients. Formulated to sustain energy, sharpen focus, and keep you and your family thriving during any emergency. Real food, real ingredients. Oh, and a 25-year shelf life. Our meals will kick your taste buds in the mouth and have them coming back for dessert. Yeah, we've got that too. So whether you're digging in or bugging out, you don't just survive an emergency situation, you thrive in it. Nutrient Survival. Feed your freedom.
Hey community, Unique Prepping has partnered up with Hunter Brothers Coffee. It's a veteran-owned coffee company out of Pennsylvania. They sell across the world, and have light, medium, dark roasts, ground or whole beans, and even flavored coffee. If you like to order coffee, use my link in the description of this video or go to my LinkTree. At checkout you'll get a 9% discount. Order you some coffee and help support veterans in need and help get service dogs as well. Thank you, and let's help our veterans since they helped keep our country safe.
Making moves on your chess piece, always on the grind in this game called life. Gotta sharpen up the mind. Unique prepping, got the vision locked and loaded. Every challenge that arises, I'm determined, I'm devoted. Stay ready for the call, enter life's demands, and we'll rise together. We'll take our stands. Unique prepping, it's more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. Every view, every like, your support is the fire that keeps me hyped. Comment, depth, and insight, share the vision wide. This community's growing and we'll ride this tide. So go ahead and subscribe, don't miss a beat. Tune in next time, let's make this complete. Unique prepping, it's more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. Let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's keep it bright. Like, share, comment. It's more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. You pushing forward, let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's make this complete. Unique prepping, it's more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. Never alone. Never alone. Keep pushing forward, let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's keep it bright. Yeah. Let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's keep it bright.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Matthew 5 verse 9 KJV.